All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. We are 24 hours out from Texas Tech NCAA basketball tournament action. Actually, we're not. We're like 24 plus 2 plus whatever. Anyways, glad you're with us tonight here on a What If Wednesday. We always do alt history on Wednesday. It's the 2019 question tonight. What if Texas Tech had won the 2019 men's basketball national championship? How would things be different today and in the years after that? You tell us tonight on that. Uh, he's the gift that keeps on giving. That's Micha Hudson, portaling again. This time from A&M after never really being at A&M, after barely being at Texas Tech. On three with some reports today. We credit them and saying that he could be coming back to Tech. Tech could be a destination. Well, do you want him or not? Do you want him back? All of that, and then where do you watch March Madness? Where will you watch tomorrow? Will you be trying to convince your boss you're actually doing work? Will you sneak out? Do you go to a restaurant, a sports bar? What do you do? You tell us. Get in on the comments and the chat line. Thanks to United Supermarkets, marketstreet.com. Great sponsors of Texas Tech Athletics, unlike some grocery store in Lubbock. It sends their money somewhere else. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. That's where you start your day. You find out the question of the day. When you go there, you get your Raiderland hot links. And everything we do is archived, including all of these broadcasts and more. We're trying to bring you some more with my friend Alan Corbin, a great contributor to Raiderland. We've been putting together the alt bracket of what it would look like in the future when the football teams decide we don't need basketball, we're going to do our own tournament. Well, technology has not been our friend in the last 24 hours. I hope we can get that posted tonight. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but Alan Corbin has done a great job on it. It's been really cool to see how that has looked and what the tournament will look like in the future. We're brought to you by Sideline Provisions, owned and operated by great Red Raiders. If you want their stuff in Lubbock, go to quarter four right there. It's the old Cardinals. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you're outside the area and you want great Texas Tech apparel, well, you go to the quarter4.net website, go to Raiderland Apparel or Red Raider Apparel or whatever. It's on the right-hand side. Drop down, go there, and you'll find all the cool hats and shirts and all the great stuff they do. You might as well look as good as your team, right? In some instances, even look better than your team. We're also brought to you by Ultra Exteriors, Warren Taylor. If you are looking at doing some home improvements this spring, I don't know, maybe just like window treatments. Maybe you want to do a pergola. Maybe you want to do a bathroom remodel. It could be just about anything. Check out their site for Ultra Exteriors and give Warren Taylor a call and tell him we sent you. And after he starts cackling with howls of laughter, he'll start talking to you. So Ultra Exteriors. Dadgummit, I missed it. Horrible. There we go. Product placement at its finest. All right, let's get it going tonight. Whether you're on YouTube, on Twitter X, on our Facebook page, everybody make sure, particularly our YouTube channel people, you hit like and thumbs up and then share it. That grows the algorithm. We appreciate you doing that. If you're watching on any of our other platforms and haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. We're trying to go over 500 right now. That's the lay of the land tonight. What if Wednesday? What if Texas Tech had won the 2019 national championship? How different would things be? And then I didn't figure I'd be talking about it today, but everybody else is. So Micha Hudson in the portal, the highly sought after, apparently, wide receiver from 2 years ago out of high school, back in the portal and on three. That's a website. It's credible. It's good stuff. Saying that Tech could be a destination. Do you want him back? Yes or no? Would you take him back? What do you want to do? Anything else on your mind? Let's go. Craig is first up off of Facebook. The talking box is on. Indeed, the talking box is on. Lance on Twitter X, at Ryan Hyatt Media for you if you're not following, need a Tech softball shirt. So Tech softball has been rocking some great stuff. And they had a hoodie last week that it had, like Raider, like the mascot Raider Red, the Dirk West Raider Red, and it just said Tech softball. Glasgow, whoever's doing it, whoever's making stuff happen, they have that Raider Red logo on their batting helmets as well. Thank you, Adidas. Whoever's doing the stuff for softball, for Tech softball, is knocking it out of the park. See what I did there? That's a reference to softball. Really cool stuff. All right. So what if Wednesday, every Wednesday we do alternate history. What if something different had happened? As the NCAA tournament starts up tomorrow for Tech around 9:30, probably our time, we asked the question, what if Tech had won the championship against West Virginia? Pardon me, Virginia. Sorry. What if that had happened? That you'd closed down on a three, that you'd knocked one more shot down, that Tariq Owens had been 100% healthy, that you get that win. Go with me down the alternate road of history and tell me what happens. Is Chris Beard still at Texas Tech? Or would he have used that to leverage to move on to another job that I think maybe a lot of Texas Tech fans have come to realize he was looking for that other job, that Tech wasn't going to be the destination school, but could it have been if he'd won a title here? Or would he have gone, this is as good as it'll ever get. I've got to strike while the iron is hot. I mean, after that year in 2019, the NBA was calling Texas Tech about, well, the Chicago Bulls, for one, wanted to hire Mark Adams as their defensive coordinator. There was massive interest in the coaching staff, with the coaches, with Chris Beard. So if Tech wins, what changes and how quickly does it change? Would Beard have been enticed by Texas? Or would he have gotten that pro job that he wanted? And he still, by the way, wants a pro job. He wants to be a coach in the NBA. Anybody who tells you otherwise, and he would deny it to my face, I guarantee you. But I can promise you, Chris Beard would still love to get an NBA coaching job. How different would it have been? What transpires? If that happens, do you ever get to the Mark Adams 2-year, hey, this is good. Oh my God, what is going on here? Do you work your way to Grant McCaslin somehow, some way? Or is the window different and it's not McCaslin coaching at Tech, but it's somebody else? What happens if you win that title game? And that's the beautiful thing about alt history, that none of your answers are truly wrong, as long as they're rooted in moderate, factual, this could have happened if this splinters off. That's the great thing about alt history, that none of you guys can be wrong for the most part on your answers. Now, I can come back and say, well, this wouldn't have been in place, this couldn't have happened, but you get it. Bruce Beard leaves sooner, but would have been saddled with Adams. So if Beard, let's say you win the title in 19, and there's something that happens in 2020 and that nobody's gotten to yet, and we can't change that. That's part of alt history, that some things are immutable. Like the day after the final battle of Gettysburg, it rained like hell and allowed the Confederates to escape past the Rapidan, and the Union Army did not pursue, and it cost the Union Army a chance to crush the Confederates. We can't change the rain. And the rain, if the Confederates had won, would have kept them from advancing on Washington, D.C. So in 2020, COVID hits. There is no tournament. We don't finish. We never know. And I mean, one of the most disgusting things that Tech Athletics has done, and when I say disgusting, not like, morally repugnant, but really hanging a banner on the 20-year. Anyhow, COVID happens. 20 is wiped out. But you're the reigning NCAA champion. What happens? Chris, I think Beard leaves probably sooner, possibly to the NBA. McCaslin would have still ended up here. How does he end up here? And when does he end up here? Does he end up here in 22 or 21, or I guess it'd be 22? When does Beard leave, and has McCaslin won enough at that point that he was riding that high? The year before, the year you hire him, he's riding that high and winning games and deep into the NIT and beating teams. Would he have had the skins on the wall up to that point? I don't know that he would have. I don't know that you would have gone there if the hire is, if Beard leaves in 21 or even 22. I don't know that you get there. Hanging a banner in 20 was a real Aggie thing to do. I agree. He was on the radar, but I don't know that he would have been. I don't know that you would have pulled the trigger on that. Because again, here's the deal. All right. So you got to factor this in, Chris. And I'm not hammering on you here. Remember, you're the reigning NCAA tournament championship team. That's got a different cachet in the marketplace. Beard would have been hired at Duke. Adams goes with him, and we may have hired Jerome Tang out of Baylor instead of Kansas State. All right, there's an interesting one right there. And Jerome loves his dudes, and you got to have some dudes. That's a thing. Now, I don't. And people are reading this going, how would have Beard got the job at Duke when Krzyzewski steps down? He won a national championship. I don't know that Duke has ever hired. No, they haven't. Duke has never hired a basketball coach who had a previous national championship under their belt. Timbo talking about what if Wednesday, what if Tech had won the 2019 championship? How would have things been different? The Earth would have gone off its orbit, and green lime scooters would cease to exist. Andy, my man, jumping in on Facebook. McDonald's in Plainview should hang a banner for Beard. They really ought to have like some sort of bad piece of artwork or something commemorating where the meeting went down with Chris Del Conte and Chris Beard there at the Plainview McDonald's. There ought to be something there. There really should be. Bruce wants to know on What If Wednesday. Help me if I'm wrong, but wasn't everyone clamoring for Adams when Beard bolted? Everyone was clamoring for Adams. Everybody wanted Adams to be the guy to take over because he didn't get on the plane. The greatest marketing plan ever. Don't get on the plane. Didn't get on the plane. You can get on the plane down there to Austin, and this is where I have to go back a little bit for maybe some of the new people around here or whatever. So I've known Mark Adams since the 1990s. Covered him. I worked for Mark Adams when he was one of the part owners of the Cotton Kings. And I have a long, and I think a good history, at least on my part, with Mark Adams. And when he got the job, I really thought, all right, this is the right guy, right time, right place. It obviously spun out of control for a lot of different reasons, mainly personal on his standpoint. The early missteps, I think, on NIL with Fardas Amac and other problems. But, yeah, everybody wanted Mark Adams. Just like everybody wanted Cliff Kingsbury when he was hired in 2012, going into 2013. 100%. Lance, Plainview McDonald's needs a Longhorn flag hung upside down. That's painful, awkward, and nobody likes that. Chris on our Facebook channel, Adams probably still ends up at Tech after Beard and probably still ends the way it did. I'm going to say no. That if they'd won the title together, I think they ride off to a bigger place together. Or again, Adams is known at this time in 2019. And let's say Tech closes out that game. He is known as the defensive guru of the no middle, and we're going to attack and make you do these things. And again, the Chicago Bulls went hard after Mark Adams for a defensive coach. That I think if they'd won, I think they both would have either left together or that Adams strikes while it's hot and goes and gets him that Bulls job or another job. Maybe. Ryan is on our Facebook. Hey, we got great Twitter today. Everybody on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media, share this, put it out there on Twitter, grow Twitter. Everybody on our YouTube channel, like Timbo up there, you guys got to give us thumbs up. You got to grow it. And everybody on Facebook, thank you. If you're not following us on Twitter, follow us there. And then everybody else can go over to our YouTube channel for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Click subscribe, but you can watch it wherever you want to watch it. All right. We just need the subscribers to drive stuff for our great clients like Warren Taylor and Ultra Exteriors in the Hubaplex. You're looking to do some cool home improvements this spring. The first call you make is to Warren Taylor and Ultra Exteriors. Check out their website. You'll see all the stuff they can do. And by Sideline Provisions. Ryan, I don't think it affected the off-court distractions Adams brought. It seemed out of character. I don't. So, in the response to that, I don't think expected. I don't think it seemed out of character. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to kind of factor all that into the discussion, but I think I know what you mean. Steven's on another one of our great Twitter people. To the Twitter. Can we still say Twitter? I can't say X. So, Steven, am I delusional to think the Beard-Adams combo in quick turnaround games gives them an edge this year? I don't know. They're a moderately talented team getting a bump by playing in the SEC. It's a good, obviously, they're good coaches. You know, bump. What do we got? Where are they? Help me out here on Ole Miss. I got my bracket right here, and this is the time of the week where I can never remember where everybody is in the bracket. Where the hell are they? Come on. Help me out here, somebody, anybody. There's Mississippi State. Seriously, where are they? Freaking, where are they? Oh, they got that play-in after that. Okay, yeah. All right, that's why it wasn't showing up on my deal. Yeah. And after that, I don't know. So they'd funnel into Iowa State. If Iowa State gets by at Lipscomb, which we assume they will, I won't be shocked if North Carolina beats them. I'll say it out loud. I won't be shocked if North Carolina beats them. Adams' hiring reminds me of when Pat Knight was hired to replace his dad. He wasn't hired to replace his dad. Pat Knight was gifted the job by his dad, who deliberately quit on Tech in the middle of the season to ensure that Pat Knight would become the interim coach and basically force the hand of Texas Tech. Make no mistake, Tech would have never hired Pat Knight under other circumstances. The guy to follow, some well-liked or famous, has a tough hill to climb, regardless of how I feel about Beard. I really like the excitement he brought Tech basketball when he's here. I think we're all grown adults, Jared, and we can separate, and I think Texas Tech fans should separate the departure Beard in what Beard did coming in after Tubby Smith and building on that and gave you what he gave you, I think you should be able, as a Tech fan, to always enjoy and love and appreciate it, and then say, yeah, the breakup was bad, but it didn't affect everything we had before that. I think most people are, emotionally strong enough, intellectually sound enough to be able to do that. And I hope you do. I know in the immediate after departure, there were a lot of Tech fans. I can't even enjoy this anymore. I'm like, why? Why are you going to screw yourself out of that? Don't do that. You can enjoy everything that happened and all those wins and everything else, and then put Beard in a box and go over here. And you should. So that's What If Wednesday. What if Texas Tech had won the national championship? I want to go to the On3 story today. It's on3.com. They do a great job on the portal, on NIL, and everything else. So reporting today that Micha Hudson, the well-traveled Micha Hudson, is now back in the transfer portal window. The window will open on April 16th. It will last 10 days, closing on April 25. Hudson will have to wait until then to officially enter his name back into the portal on this window, but they are reporting that he is leaving Texas A&M, where he has been for, however many days, and never played or did anything. On3 is reporting that Texas Tech is a possible destination. Now, when he left Tech, I think Joey McGuire did a great job of not burning any bridges, not making it look bad. But I think he did that from this standpoint and not the standpoint of, oh, I hope he comes back. I think Joey McGuire did all that to look at other high NIL players, high NIL recruits, and say, hey, come to Tech. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, we're not going to kill you. But don't come here thinking that if it doesn't work out, we're going to absolutely torch you. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. And Joey McGuire was nice. So the question I ask you tonight regarding Micha Hudson, do you want him back at Tech? Do you want him back at Texas Tech? And we've all seen and heard and read the stories about different on-field and off-field problems. Obviously, he was hurt. Obviously, he was injured. You bought damaged goods when you got Hudson. But then there's the off-the-field stuff about, well, I don't have to get into it. Either you know what I'm talking about or not. It's not like he's a bad dude or anything. I'm not saying that. Just everybody has their issues and stuff going on in their life. And there were reports that was part of why he left Tech or didn't. Okay, whatever. Do you want him back? Why or why not? What are you willing to pay? Because now you have to look at this as an NFL franchise. You have to look at this as a pro team. And what are you willing to pay to Micha Hudson to come back versus somebody else? He's a free agent. Are you willing to give up a draft pick? Are you willing to give up salary cap? What are you willing to give up to get Micha Hudson back? Do you care? Do you not? You tell me. In the last couple of minutes, we'll still do some What If Wednesday. We can still do some basketball. Obviously, tomorrow we'll be with you live well before Tech basketball starts, so we have all that going on. Craig, does he still get all the money that he was supposed to get with A&M? Doubt it. Doubt he got very much out of that deal, whatever it may have been. No, don't think so. Wendy, Beard would steal his grandma. He leaves. Tech hires Mark Few or Darvin Ham, and Beard's on to his next job. The Ham hiring in the Adams window, no, pardon me, the McCaslin window was the Ham window. Could have been in the Adams window. And as much as I love Darvin Ham, I wouldn't have hired him because I've seen what has happened with great pro players and other that with him not having any college experience, the only way Ham would have worked maybe if you had kept Adams with him and others. And I don't think that was going to happen. And thank God you didn't hire Mark Few because He's a one-trick pony, and the trick's over. I'm not a Mark Few fan. Joseph, meanwhile, who may or may not like Mark Few, uh, never faulted Beard for leaving. You can't blame someone trying to better themselves. How would the fan base reacted if he had gone, if he gave Tech 2 weeks notice? It wouldn't have mattered. You know that. Chris, I'm fine if Hudson comes back, but I don't view him as a game changer for next year's team. Ham's a good coach for the NBA. Yeah. That's the question for me. Why do people think, and this is nothing personal against Micah Hudson, but at this point, why do they think he's like some sort of elite wide receiver at the college level who's like this amazing game changer that you have to have? He had every opportunity, banged up or not, on a moderately pedestrian wide receiving core. Moderately, I said. Kelly, obviously, NFL talent. But there were still other places you could probably find if you wanted to be out on the field that you could have got on the field. That I think the thing with Hudson for me is just, and I'll be wrong, he'll go on to have a 15-year NFL career and get 85 receiving touchdowns. I don't see it. I don't see it. And I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he comes to Texas Tech, gets his 25 grand from the Matador Club, and works his butt off and is healthy and goes out next year and has 1,200 yards and 13 receiving touchdowns. I ain't betting on that. And that's why I look at this story and I go, all right, don't waste any time on it. Did anybody see Scotty Scheffler's Masters menu? It's a great menu. So the defending champion of the Masters gets to request a menu up and down from appetizers, main course, dessert, and everything else. And it's always cool to see what they do, and it's always fun. So Scotty Scheffler, man, he's throwing out some really good stuff. But the interesting thing to me was on the menu it says Texas style chili. Will it have beans or not? If we find out that Scheffler had Texas style chili at Augusta and it has beans in it, no, we can't abide by that. Surely it cannot. But looking at the menu, I was like, all right, this is why somebody from Texas should design the menu every year for the champions dinner, no matter who wins it. There ought to be somebody from Texas. We got jalapeno poppers going on here. We got all sorts of cool stuff. Obear could be planning his own menu next year. Man, that'd be so cool. He's got a great chance too. That course rewards experience for the most part. Talking about Augusta National doesn't change that much. The more you play it, the older guys have better. So it would be, I would have him again top 5. He could absolutely win it. But yeah, what would his deal be out of Sweden and Texas Tech? Like Swedish meatballs and chili? We don't know. Stephen on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. If you're not following, the Longhorn probably have organic black beans in the chili. Like be coming in from Freebirds or Chipotle or whatever. It was a solid menu though, really was. Green white checker. Thank you, Craig. We are green white checker. Next flag will end the race. We will also race back to the checker and the yellow. We're not going to slow it down. We can race back on the last lap. I ain't afraid to do it. Did I leave anything else off? No, I don't think so. Maybe. All right. Your last chance. Get your questions, comments in. If you got anything that we have not talked about today, we will be with you tomorrow, this regular time. Hey, it's a 9:30 tip-off tomorrow night. The only way we would do a show tomorrow, a Round Ball Rewind, after the game as if something incredibly, horribly bad happened. So we hope we aren't doing a show after that. I hate the tip-off time. Golly. I really do. You know? Wish it was about 2 o'clock would be about perfect on those games. Stephen, Merry real March Madness Eve to all, and all a good night. Exactly. Loved the video last night of the dirt. Yeah, we posted a video there on the website for Facebook for Ryan Heights Raiderland. I believe it's out there on that one. About 30 seconds of what it's like out here in Dog Patch, USA, when the wind blows and our cotton farm and everything else. Sound up, no filter. Pretty amazing. Thanks for. I don't know that we loved it, but yeah, thanks for looking at it. Bruce, I'd take him. Bruce, he called me Bruce. I'd take him back only if he's had a come to Jesus meeting. He's tolerated. Oh, no, talented. He's tolerated. He's talented, but I don't pay him nearly what he made last year. I agree with that. I don't extend a monetary olive branch. If you want to come back here, you get your minimum pay, which is $25,000. That's the minimum salary, by the way, now for Texas Tech football, $25,000. And then if you want to do something else after that, knock yourself out, man. Hold on, I just got a text message from somebody. This could be good. Hold on. Sorry, I can't give that one to you guys on the air, but it's pretty damn funny. From a fellow media member that I can't put that out there. That's funny. All right, you guys done? The website, theraiderland.com. Tomorrow, rated right. Thursday, overrated, underrated, rated right. We give you a topic, you rate it. We'll have it out there. All the hot links. I hope you guys enjoy the hot links. I love putting together the Raiderland hot links. I figure if it's stuff I like, you guys are going to kind of like it. And I hope it saves you guys a little time in the morning every day to just go, hey, hit the hot links and, there's on Hyatt's site. We got all this stuff. This is what I need to know about. But if you ever see anything that you want me to put on the hot links, just tag us. Hit us with it on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media or otherwise. I hope everybody subscribes to the YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. We got a ton of people on Facebook, but we can always have more. And we do all sorts of cool stuff there. And, of course, Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. And then you guys know where to start the day at theraiderland.com. I've got to hit this button here. We do this one. Oh, no. No, don't do that one. Yeah, do this one. I'm learning. We'll see you guys tomorrow, theraiderland.com.